Something I've noticed over the years is that a lot of men spend months, sometimes even years, trying to figure out the same question. Why does she only see me as a friend? And the strange thing is, most of the time, the answer isn't hidden. It's right there. The problem is that emotions have a way of blinding people. You start focusing on what you hope is happening instead of what's actually happening. And before you know it, you've created an entire relationship in your head that never really existed. I remember a guy I knew years ago. Good guy, respectful, always available. Whenever this woman needed help, he was there. If she needed a ride, he showed up. If she needed advice, he listened. If she needed money, well, sometimes he helped with that too. And everyone around him could see what was happening except him. He thought all that effort was slowly building attraction. But months later, she introduced him to her new boyfriend. The look on his face, I still remember it. Not because he was angry, because he was genuinely shocked, as if reality had just slapped him across the face. And that's when I realized something. A lot of men confuse appreciation with attraction. A woman can genuinely like you, enjoy your company, trust you, even care about you deeply, and still not want a romantic relationship with you. Those are not the same thing. But many men assume they are. And honestly, I understand why. Because when you're emotionally invested, every positive signal starts looking like hope. A smile becomes attraction. Kindness becomes chemistry. Attention becomes interest. But that's not always what's happening. Sometimes she's simply treating you the same way she treats people she feels comfortable around. And comfort is not always attraction. In fact, this might sound strange, but sometimes comfort is exactly why you stay in a friend zone. Wait, let me explain that. Most men think attraction grows from being nice, being available, being supportive, and those things matter. They do. But attraction usually needs something else too. Tension, mystery, excitement, the possibility of losing you. I think it was during church meeting, or maybe shortly after. I can't remember exactly. There was a woman who constantly called one of my friends. Every day, they talked for hours. Everyone assumed they were dating. Even he assumed it. Then one day, she met another guy. Within weeks, she was completely obsessed with him. My friend couldn't understand it. After all, he had invested years. The other guy had invested weeks. What happened? Simple. One relationship felt romantic. The other felt familiar. And familiarity without attraction often becomes friendship. That's the painful reality many men never see coming. Another thing I've noticed, a lot of men hide their intentions. They spend so much time trying not to scare her away that they accidentally convince her they're not interested. Think about that for a second. You like her. You want her. You think about her constantly. But every interaction is carefully disguised as friendship. No flirting. No romantic energy. No signs whatsoever. And then months later, you're shocked when she says, "I only see you as a friend." But why wouldn't she? That's exactly what you've been showing her. I once heard a woman say something that stuck with me. She said, "If a man acts like a friend for 6 months, eventually my brain puts him in the friend category." And honestly, that makes sense. People respond to the signals we give them, not the feelings we hide. Then there's another reason nobody likes talking about. Sometimes, she's simply not attracted to you. I know, nobody likes hearing that. And maybe I'm wrong in some situations. But sometimes the answer really is that simple. Not every attraction can be negotiated. Not every preference can be changed. You can be a good man, a respectful man, an intelligent man, and still not be your type. That's life. And the sooner a man accepts that possibility, the less time he wastes chasing certainty where none exists. Actually, that reminds me of something random. I once knew a woman who described a guy as the perfect boyfriend on paper, and yet she had absolutely no romantic feelings for him. None. She couldn't explain why. She even felt guilty about it. But attraction doesn't always follow logic. People wish it did. It doesn't. And this is where many men get trapped. They start negotiating with reality. If I become more successful, if I help her more, if I wait longer, if I prove myself, But attraction isn't usually built through endless proving. At least, not the way many men think. The hardest truth is this. The friend zone isn't usually created in one moment. It's created through patterns. Small patterns, repeated over time. The way she talks to you, the way she responds to your attention, the way she introduces you to other people, the way she reacts when other women show interest in you. The signs are usually there. They're just quieter than most men expect. And because hope is loud, those signs often get ignored. Maybe that's why so many men stay stuck for years. Not because they don't see reality, but because reality isn't the answer they want. And honestly, I think that's the hardest part. Not being rejected, not being friend-zoned, but realizing the relationship you imagined was never the relationship she was experiencing. Anyway, maybe I'm overthinking it, but from what I've seen, the friend zone is rarely a mystery. Most of the time, the clues were there from the beginning. We just don't notice them when our emotions are doing all the talking.